Hi dear students and viewers. This is the first video in the chapter of mechanical properties of solids. That is, what is stress and how many types of stress are there. In general, what we can feel stress, it is not like that. Here, what is mean by stress? Before going to that, you have to know about the what is mean by deformation force or force of deformation, and what is mean by elastic nature, and what is mean by plastic nature. So deformation force means when we apply any force on a body, that is tries to change the shape and size of the body, then that force is called deformation force. Clear? When we apply some force on any object, it is tries to change the shape and size of the body. That should be what we call deformation force. And what is mean by elastic nature? What is mean by elastic body? When we applied some force on the body, some changes happen in the body. After removal of the force, if the body again gains its shape and size and other properties, then that body is called elastic body, and that nature is called elasticity. Clear? What is mean by elasticity? After removal of deformation force, if the body will gain original shape and size, that should be called elastic nature, and that particular body is called elastic body. Dear students, if you can take a spring, the spring what it is inside our pen, that should be taken and slowly pressed like this. Then what will happen? The turns comes very close. If you can slowly leave that one, then the turns are again expanded. When we are pressing slowly, the turns are compressed. Once you can just slightly loose the fingers, then the turns are again comes back to the original conditions. That nature is called elasticity nature. If it is not happen, that is the plastic nature. That means if any plastic chair is there, and if you can directly jump out of the plastic chair, it will be broken. Once you came out from that one, if there is any attaching of the chairs, broken parts, it's not possible. That is the plastic nature. Clear? If you can take a clay, wet clay, and you can keep a punch like that, then some impressions are gets into the clay. Once you can remove your hand from that clay, again there is regaining of shape is possible for clay? No, not is possible. It is the plastic nature. Okay, now coming to the point. What is stress and its types? Stress is nothing but, children, the restoring force acting on particular area of the body is called stress. So what is stress? Here, restoring force acting on a body in particular area is called stress. Simply what we write, stress is nothing but, we can write stress is nothing but here restoring force for area. The restoring force acting on a body in particular area is called stress. Clear? So the stress and pressure almost all both are having the same formula. Force acting on particular area is called pressure, and the restoring force acting on particular area is called stress. Clear? So the stress, for that what is the unit? SI unit is nothing but here for force what you have, Newton is there, for area meter square. So Newton for meter square. It is the unit for stress, and it is also called as Pascal. What do you call? Pascal. And children, now dimensional formula, important for 2 marks. What are the units of stress and dimensional formula? What are the units and dimensions of stress? Dimensional formula, what we can write. So children, P is equals to F by A. For force, what is the dimension formula? M L T inverse 2. ml t was 2 by area means what? L square. ml t was 2 by L square. What do we get now here? M L to the power of minus 2 to the power of minus 2. Then what do you get? Dimension formula is M L inverse 1 minus 2. Okay. Then what do you get? To the power of minus 2. So this is the dimension formula of stress. Now we can check the number of types of stress. Longitudinal stress, and number 2, volume stress, and third one is shearing stress. Look here, actually these two are commonly called as normal stress. So what is mean by longitudinal stress, and what is mean by volume stress, and what is mean by shearing stress? The elastic force which is going to be try to increase the or decrease the length of the body, that should be called longitudinal stress. Clear? The force what it is acting on normally on a body, it is either it is increase or decrease the length of the body, then that particular force is called longitudinal stress. Clear? And volume stress, the elastic force that is going to be increase or decrease the volume of a body, that should be called volume stress. And now shearing stress, the amount of force acting on a body that is displaces the only top surface. The force what it is acting on the body, that should be displaces only top of, for example, it is a cube now. The force what it is applied tangentially on the top surface, that is going to be displaced like this. So here this is the displaced portion. Clear? So the top surface only going to be displaced from here. It is there initially, now it is displaced like this. So this is the top surface, and now it is the surface. The top surface only displaced, the base is remaining same like that only. Then that stress, that force is what we call shearing stress. The amount of force that should be tries to displace the top surface, that should be what we call shearing stress. And the elastic force that should be going to be stretch or compress the length is what we call longitudinal. If it is tries to decrease the or increase the volume, that is what we call, that force what we call volume stress. Now children, here look here, longitudinal stress and volume stress can also be called as tensile stress, and compressed stress. So for example, this is the body, one body, clear, that is having some length. If the force is acting at the ends like this, in opposite directions, then the length is going to be increased, then that stress is called tensile stress. The tensile stress is also applicable for the volume stress also. For example, this is a particular volume. Then the forces which are acts along the all the sides radially outward or normally outward. Then the volume is going to be increased. Then these two are coming under into the tensile stress. For the same body, now the forces are acting like this. They are now trying to decrease the length because the force is acting in opposite directions. They are going to be compress the body, that's why length is going to be decreased. And for volume stress also same thing. We are taking this is the volume. Now this is the Yes. In this case, the length is going to be increased. In this case, volume is going to be increased. Then that stress is what we call tensile stress. Now in this case, what I have to say? The forces are acting in opposite directions, but they are going to decrease the length and decrease the volume of the body. That type of stress is coming under into the compressed stress. Compressed stress. So children, this is about simply about the what is stress and what are the units of stress and what is the dimension formula of stress and units of the stress and how many types of stresses are available. This is the 4 marks question and important, very easy one, children. If you can understand this one, like, share, comment the video and subscribe my channel to get the all notifications. Thank you for watching.